I thought I would take the opportunity in this space, for those who are unfamiliar with this service, just to say a few words of explanation about the service of evening prayer in this version of choral evensong. It is in fact a very old service. I calculated it is being celebrated, sung, said for 467 years. It began life as a daily service, arranged, collated, put together by Archbishop Thomas Cranmer, who had been appointed to reform the church by Henry VIII. It now strikes us as very old, traditional, and to some of us at least very familiar, so that it takes an effort to recapture just how radical it was in its day. To begin with, up until that point, there had been no common service, and no one service for the whole church. Monks in abbeys did one thing, and congregations in parishes did another, and in cathedrals a third, and all of them in a foreign tongue. So Cranmer was the first to put together a common service for everyone, all forms of worship, and in English. Secondly, in putting it together, he didn't compose a service. He took the framework of two existing evening services from the monastic orders and converged them in such a way and with such skill that they were really indissoluble and have proved so ever since. Thirdly, he made a service that is quite strikingly and remarkably biblical. It has two fundamental elements, those that don't change and those that do change, and those that do change week by week, day by day. The readings from the Bible and the Psalms that are sung are clearly and obviously drawn from biblical texts, but so is nearly everything else. The canticles with which the readings are interspersed, and even the versicles and responses draw heavily on biblical phrases and sentiments and passages. But perhaps what is most striking and important and different, and what has made evensong the Anglican Communion's distinctive contribution to the worship of the Christian world, is that it took place in a church that was not fully reformed. So in the cathedrals and the abbeys and some parish churches, there remained in place the church musicians, whose job it was to adapt the services of the church, to sing them and to celebrate them. And they found themselves almost overnight landed with an entirely new set of services and entirely in a different language. And so those musicians brought their skills and the tradition of the church to the setting of these services. And that is why evening prayer, and how evening prayer became choral evensong. It got a new injection of life in the 19th century, spearheaded by the very great composer and church musician Samuel Sebastian Wesley. The canticles that you heard were two of a vast library of canticles and settings, together with motets and anthems and hymn tunes, that the church musicians of England and the Anglican Church more broadly collated, collected, composed, and arranged to be the extraordinary wealth of music that this service has at its disposal today.